What's up, YouTube? It's Sarah here, and I figured we'd do a little story time because I just came back from one of my many weekend trips. I feel like I'm never at home. And I, came home and I worked a couple days and I was like, I haven't checked my mail in a while, right? Like, do most responsible people check their mail like every day? That might make me irresponsible. Anyway, I only check my mail maybe once every couple of weeks. And that's generally the only time I check my mail is if I'm expecting something in the mail. So I picked up my mail and it reminded me of a story where not checking my mail caused me problems, okay? So moral of the story before we get into it, check your mail, okay? At least once a week, at least. Do as I say, not as I do. So I had come home once again from one of my many excursions. I go between several cities in my area often for work. So I'm like constantly gone, right? And so I came home from this one trip and, it was the start of the month. So I paid all my bills. Everything was Gucci, great. So went a couple more weeks, came back from another trip, and I checked my mail. And so when I checked my mail, there was a notice in there from my electric company. Yes, my electric company, telling me that my electricity would be shut off the day before. The day before I had picked up my mail was the date that it was supposed to be shut off. Now that date just happened to have landed on a Saturday. Now, I live in a small town, okay? I live in a small town outside of kind of a larger college city. And I was like calling the number on there like crazy. I mean, I called, 15 times maybe. And I was so stressed out. It was 11 o'clock at night, freaking out, pacing up and down my house, just like walking in circles, calling other numbers that I knew were associated with the, same building that they were in. And I even called their emergency after hours number. Let me tell you, if you live in a small town, chances are those emergency numbers you can't get a hold of anyone. And after hours. So, which was the case with me? I could not get a hold of anybody. I was freaking out. And I got like no sleep that night, okay? It was a Sunday night, got no sleep that night, maybe 2 or 3 hours because I would lay in bed and my head was just reeling because it was kind of cold outside. It was like getting into the 50s. I was worried if the electricity went off, I'd be really cold. I had just bought a whole bunch of food for the fridge. So yeah, I was not in a good place. And to my knowledge, I had paid that electric bill, right? I had paid all my bills at the start of the month. So that's what I do every single month. Well, I called them Monday morning. I tried calling before the office opened. I called at 7:30, 7:45, 8 a.m. Let me tell you, these people don't even come into work on time, okay? They're like, it took me until, so it was supposed to open at 8. It took me until like 9:30 to get a hold of anybody. Calling. Couldn't get a hold of anybody. Finally got a hold of this very nice lady. Spectacular, okay? She was wonderful. And she totally understood my issue. She looked at, the order to turn off my electricity. And she's like, look, I can waive the late fee or I mean, I can waive the reconnection fee because, you know, you've not exactly been disconnected yet, as long as the guy hasn't actually left, you know, wherever these vehicles come from. Who knows? The store could have just dropped him off on the road. Anyway, as long as the person driving that truck who would turn off power hadn't left the facility yet, and she could get a hold of them and stop that from happening, she'd be able to cancel the reconnect fee. If she couldn't, I'd have to still pay it. So she said, you still have to pay the late fee. I'm sorry, there's nothing I can do about that. I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. Late fee was like 20 bucks, okay? And she put me on hold, and I'm sitting there and I'm holding, and I'm pacing around my living room, dining room. So I have like this, I have a coffee table in the middle of my living room, and I have a central dining table. The whole house in here is very open. So I was just like going around the coffee table and the dining table just in circles, and I was just, the amount of stress it caused me, like still to this day, just to talk about it causes me stress. I've never once, ever missed an electric payment or water payment or house payment. Like, I'm on top of it. My credit, great. I could probably qualify for just about anything. So yeah, it was really flustered. Took like half an hour on hold, just pacing the house. Thankfully, I work from home, okay? So as long as I worked late, it wasn't that big of a deal. So she got back on the phone and she's like, so the guy has not gone out yet, so I can waive that fee. You want to pay this and we'll make sure that it doesn't get cut off. And I'm just like, all this weight from my shoulders from the previous night, from the morning, all these calls, no picking up, and it just like melted me into a puddle. I cannot tell you how much stress that relieved for me. Those few words, he has not left yet. I mean, it was great. So all of that said, my electricity, thank God, was not turned off. But she said I came within half an hour of having it cut off. And because their facility is so close to my house, I would have been the first few houses for them to cut off. It was terrifying. And I wish I could say I've learned my lesson and I check my mail every week at the very least. But, you know, I'm honest with you guys. I don't check my mail every week. A lot of times because I might only be here one day a week. Some weeks. So anyway, I have checked my mail. And we have my mail. And we're going to go through my mail haul. I expect it to be mostly trash. It's almost always mostly trash. And what's in here is normally bills that I keep. So there's this poor lady has lost her cat, and she's put up flyer cards, and she's saying this cat's about a year old. She's an indoor cat. She's microchipped, and she has her number on here. And it's that's really sad. So I hope she finds her cat. I haven't seen it, but I'm going to keep it on my fridge. This is a bank statement. And obviously I've blanked out my name and address. So that, I never keep these statements. Like, what bank still provides paper statements? Like, what is this? You know, we're in 2021, people. Whoops. This is some sort of insurance company trying to get me to buy their insurance. So that's trash. as well. This is for a former resident of here because I live in a rental house. And this is just, looks like a quote to provide new windows, patio doors. Yeah, strange. Okay. Also trash. Spectrum Internet. You have been selected for a special deal. Yes, I do have Spectrum Internet. And do I suggest it for my area? No, I don't. Anyway, that's trash. Gear wrench. So one of the people who used to live here had some sort of a bike or car repair shop. So I get a whole bunch of like tool car related mails. So that's trash. Wells Fargo. Open account. Yes. Nope. This doesn't even tell you who it's from. Just somewhere in Oak Ridge. I have no idea who this is from. Let's see. Something about HIPAA. Let's throw this title page. Oh, it's from my nurse practitioner who does like my psych appointment stuff. What? She's closing her practice. She's moving to a group practice, which means the fees are going to be higher. Damn it. That I actually need to keep. That's really frustrating. This, also from my bank, say, hey, open up this credit card and get up to $25 bonus. That's trash. This is like coupons. Does everybody get these kind of coupons? I mean, a lot of this stuff I would never use, or I mean, I guess there's Arby's in here, but I don't eat Arby's. And then the rest is like furniture stores and whatnot. Hardee's, there's Hardee's, but again, I don't eat Hardee's. I try not to eat fast food in general. Again, car stuff. Why? Spectrum Internet, it says important notice. Let's see what it's notifying me of. I hope I paid the bill. I think I did. It should be on auto draw. Oh. It's another one of those stupid, you've been selected things. They just use the important notice in yellow paper as a way to get you to open it up. Pro tip. Maryville, City of Maryville Utilities. Maryville. I don't want my address to be seen. I just want to make sure my utilities are still on. Yeah, they are. And my bill was significantly lower than last month. By like half. Oh, what is this? Yeah, orthopedic. See? Medical bills. This is what I'm talking about. What is this saying? I owe money. Yeah. So we require you to pay your copay. Well, if you would just take my copay when I'm actually there, we wouldn't have this issue. Vanderbilt Health. Probably more bills. Which I always pay your medical bills on time, okay? Because if you don't, or you don't provide the medical office with your most updated address, they will send it to collections and it will affect your credit score. if, you know, you don't answer the phone and you don't pay it, etc., etc. Okay, so this is not a medical bill. They're asking me to fill out a survey for the last time I was there. No. This is from the United States Postal Service, probably talking about, like, what is this? Oh yeah, 'tis the season for new stamps. How exciting. And quality coverage, about positive, that's for, yep, insurance, general insurance. This is Midnight Velvet. It's like an order catalog for middle-aged women's clothes. Nothing against middle-aged women. I'm just not one of them. And this was for a previous resident. 0 OE Fix, again, with the car stuff. Like, why? I can't even change my own car's oil. Okay, well, rewind. I probably could, okay? I just choose not to. Just like I can, and I have the ability to change a tire, and I know how to, but I also have AAA premium, so why would I go to the trouble? Anyway, that's it. Little story time for you about the time I almost had my electricity shut off, and stress, and why you should check your mail every week, okay, people, and pay your medical bills on time.